Hey everyone, Mark Gamer Dude here. So I'm doing a rather unscripted video about the recent beta test of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So I unfortunately could not play it because I don't have a PS5, and I just saw all the gameplay online. So I wanted to give my opinion on what I saw and also what I heard from fans who played it. So right off the bat, I will say the game looks amazing. The graphics, I love it. Everything just looks so polished and everything. The character animations, beautiful. Everything, the setup, all of it is great. Only the tracks, wow. I cannot wait to see all the tracks in the full game. Now, big note, you cannot use the extreme gear in the beta test, unfortunately. They did state that you can't use it. They probably did that because we know that fans, all the fans who love riders, would pick the extreme gear. But they're probably still working on it. Now, right off the bat, all you can do is the online play, but you can also, of course, select your character and customize your car in any way you want. Oh yeah, and this guy's back. I guess we can assume that if there's a story mode in this game, that he will be involved. I mean, it made sense, because remember, Silver's from the future and Blaze is from an alternate world. So it made sense that, we have Crossworlds, alternate dimensions. I don't know how he has the power to do that, or the technology, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, okay, so right now, I'm gonna draw out all the positives that I have about the game already. So I already told you that I love the graphics, and the gameplay looks so fun. Everything seems so smooth. The tricks, the animations, all the items, everything looks so more, I wouldn't say like more fun than Mario Kart, but it definitely seems to have be on par with Mario Kart, but even better, I would say. Because, for example, the trick animations, or doing the tricks in general, this is much more fast. But in Mario Kart, while it is simple, it's more amazing, like boom, 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 right off the bat. Not just, slow and simple. If you guys understand what I mean, right? I mean, looking at this compared to Mario Kart, it's strange, but I like it. I really like it. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't hear all the music in the background for the tracks. I did hear some of it, but I can't hear it all to give a big opinion on it. Though I did hear the beta test main menu. I don't know if that's the main menu, for the final game, but it does sound good. Though a lot of people did say that this sounds like something you hear in the Olympics, and honestly, I do agree. This sounds like the recent Tokyo 2020 Olympic game theme, honestly. Especially with the backup vocal choir thing. Speaking of choir, I do hear a lot of great music in the background for Ocean View, the background music people singing. It sounds great. I really hope to hear the full music once the game comes out. We still don't know who's composing this whole thing. I don't know if Crush 40's back or if T. Lopez is involved. We have to wait and see, but I do hope the game's music is very good. Team Sonic Racing soundtrack was amazing, so I hope they do the same thing here. Now, speaking of the tracks, there are only a few in the beta test, as well as Crossworlds. The tracks that we saw was Metal Harbor, Ocean View, Water Palace, Wonder Museum, Rainbow Garden, and then for Crossworlds, we had Kraken Bay, and then Sky Road, Roulette Road, and then that Dino area. All of these Crossworlds are amazing, just beautiful, beyond beautiful. Going through there in the second lap always has everything switch up, because immediately after the second lap, we go into the third lap, and then the track changes. That way, it's way more chaotic at the end, because everything is something you don't even used to. Next, let's talk about what you can do with the carts themselves. Again, we don't know about the riders here yet, but we do know that you can add gadgets to your car, which gives you a little boost, or might even make you feel a bit more bad, because even though you add more things, you could draw back a few things too. There might be a good and bad factor with it. For example, I know that if you have a gadget and if you have one gadget, it could let you bump into someone, but you get a speed boost from that. So that's cool. But there are some that give you a good boost, but it can make you slower or get more impact, stuff like that. So doing that and having all those gadgets and unlocking them, ooh, man, I cannot wait to see how the fullest the gadgets are. Now with the carts, we have the characters. Again, we don't have the full roster right here because of the beta test, but the characters we have right now are cool. Though I am very surprised that Jet isn't in the beta test, because he's on the cover and he's not in here. But yeah, sure, put Zaz instead. Again, all these characters are very beautifully animated. I love some of their voice lines. Everything is great. And speaking of voice lines, by the way, the banter from Team Sonic Racing is back. But it's way more downgraded because in Team Sonic Racing, they would always talk non-stop. And I guess fans complained about that. So now in this, it only happens very rarely. It's not always, because there are some banter that appears whenever you hit someone. But it doesn't happen all the time, because I've seen some people who race the entire race and hit people, but they don't get any dialogue at all. I mean, listen to these ones.
Gonna cry, gonna cry. You're a jerk, Mr. Zaz.
Take that, Doctor. No one's impressed, Shadow.
These were great. I cannot wait to hear all the characters banter back and forth, especially when we get to play as Babylon Roads. Oh man, I cannot wait. Now, speaking of the characters, something is very interesting about the roster here. So we already know that there's going to be 23 characters at launch, and we already know that these characters right here were confirmed, especially with the banner thing that we saw in the trailer. We know that they're there. Plus, we've seen them in the track itself. Though I'm still very surprised that we're going to be playing as Egg Pond. Also, someone pointed out that this is the first time that we have all the characters from Sonic Heroes playable again. That is actually very cool. So back to the character selection screen right here. When I mentioned that there was something interesting about it, you see there are 28 slots here. There are 5 empty right there. And then we have the many more thing right here. And we already know that the and many more means the added characters later down the line. We already know that there's going to be a digital deluxe edition with a DLC season pass, and we're going to have Sonic Prime playable characters right there. Now, I don't know if they're going to be alternate skins, but I don't think that they're going to be alternate skins because they're going to be playable characters, not alternate skins. They would have noted that they would be alternate skins, so I don't think they're going to be skins. They're going to be playable characters, and I know people don't like the a clone thing, especially with how some racing games have clones of characters. But, what are you gonna do? Plus, who knows? Maybe the characters from Sonic Prime who get in are gonna be voiced by the voice actors who voiced them in the Sonic Prime TV show. Now, back to what I was saying earlier before. So, there are 5 slots right here for characters we don't know yet. They said 23 at launch. So those extra 5 will come later, and then many more later on. Who could those extra 5 slots be if they're not going to be at launch? Many have said that maybe it might be the rest of the Deadly Six. Maybe? I don't know. I don't see that happening. Because right now, like, the most popular quote-unquote characters from the Deadly Six are Zaz, Zavok, and kinda Xena too. If she gets in, then maybe she's one of the slots there, but I don't know. I don't see it. Now, we already know that Sega characters are coming to the game. Now, could those 5 slots be the Sega characters? Maybe. Though, they could be in the many more section, and they will be the added section down after this row. We gotta wait and see, I guess, because I don't know how many Sega characters we're gonna get. Honestly, my realistic guess is going to be 5 or 7. I don't think they're going to go too big, especially since this game is mainly going to be focused on the Sonic Racing cast, not Sega characters. Otherwise, it would have Sonic and Sega Racing Crossworlds. So my hopeful opinion is that maybe it might be the IDW cast, because 5 characters, those can easily be Tango, Whisper, Search Kit, and then whoever else, maybe Lanolin or Belle or Jewel, whoever they decide to put in there. I don't know, we have to wait and see. Because I don't see any other Sonic character other than the Deadly Six getting in. Of course, they could do the prediction that I predicted before, and that some classic characters would get in. Like, I can imagine them putting in classic Sonic, because why not? I know they're gonna do it. Would he be voiced? I don't know. This is just my guess, because right now, again, we're gonna have 23 characters at launch. 5 more are empty. Why is that? Why would they do that? There's a specific reason for that. I don't know why. So it has to be big if they're gonna save that, because remember, we already know that Sega characters are coming. So if they're the extra 5 slots, it would make sense to have them save for later to surprise us, us fans. But if it's not them, and they'll be added later on in the extra row, whatever, it could be the IDW cast. But, man, there's so much theories because with the DLC Season Pass, that could have extra characters and trats. So, man, we don't know. We generally do not know. It is hard to predict. Now, I already mentioned a lot of the positives already with the gameplay, the fun, the trick system, the everything. Now, I wasn't going to go into the items, but there's a lot. But you see, the negatives kind of draw in from the items. So my negatives right now that I've seen, honestly, is the fact that aside from obvious glitches, because this is a beta test, the items are a bit much. They can be a little bit too hectic and too chaotic. I know a lot of people could say that you're just getting Mario Karted. It's just like in Mario Kart. Yeah, but they're a little bit too much. I think they need to fit the time frame on getting items and how you get impacted and such, because I've seen the races and sometimes people get attacked in the last second. Again, I know, just like in Mario Kart it happens, but I've seen it and it can be a bit much. They need to tone it down a little bit. Like, there are some items that are a little bit overpowered. There's literally some that take you a little bit forward, or that slicing car thing. There's a lot that can be a little bit much that has ruined someone's day. Again, I know, Mario Kart just like that, but this is a little bit much here. Now, next, I will say that the tricks. Now, I do love the trick system. They look smooth, fresh, and everything. But the thing that is kind of getting to people is the voice acting here. Now, the voice acting is not bad here, but the voice lines themselves, they're too repetitive. Again, comparing to Mario Kart, the Mario Kart characters have their own voice lines when they do trick animations, but for the Sonic cast, they're all the same, repeated on repeat. Like, if Sonic does one trick, he's always gonna say, good, 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 always, 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 and then you do two tricks, then good, nice, then good, nice, and then multiple times it's good, nice, great, jamming, over and over and over again. It's always like that. It's a bit much. Like, it got too repetitive. It's always on repeat. They need more variety or have a specific thing said, because in Mario Kart they have like 5 or 4 trick animation voice things, and it's not always on repeat. It's always different every single time to do a trick. And it's not like, multiple all in one. They need to do way more variety. I mean, even for like Amy, she does 1 and 2 and 3. That is like cute, but then when she says it over and over and over again when she does one trick. One. It's too much. They needed to add more voice lines to get more variety in the trick thing. It's a bit much. It's too much. Like, they need to fix that, because it can get a little bit annoying if I'm racing and I keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again if I just do one trick. It's a bit much. Add more voice lines to get more variety in the trick thing, and don't have them on repeat. Other than that, the game looks to be very, very great. I am very excited for the next playtest. I do hope that they do another playtest on other systems, because I do believe that they are going to do it. I think the PS5 one was done first because of the deal maybe with Sony or something. Having the debut trailer be in the State of Play showcase, so maybe that's why they had that be first. I don't get why they didn't have it on all systems too, especially since, we're going to have crossplay. If we're going to have crossplay involved, that means they have to do tests on the other systems to make sure that they're okay. I do believe that we'll definitely get a playtest down the line. Now, when do you think this game is going to come out? Honestly, for me, I think maybe summer, maybe late spring, maybe. That's when I can see it, because if they were going to release it right now, we would have like more trailers and more tests and more information and such. So I think it will be in late summer or early summer at least. Remember, we don't even have a release date yet. Nothing. Just coming soon. But I do believe at least late spring or early summer at least. For those who played the beta test, what did you think of the game? Do your opinions match with everyone else's opinions about it? And if you're gonna get the game, what system are you gonna buy it on? Let me know in the comments, and I do hope that we'll do a beta test for the Nintendo Switch because I was so bummed that I couldn't play it.